You guys know that story about a YouTuber who made a video, we are going to break 100k today, and then it didn't happen. We went until 99,200. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that we didn't break 100k yesterday and we came so close. So I made an absolute fool out of myself. So maybe are we going to break it today or not? We'll see. This is the BTC USD chart on the 15 minute. And this is how we left it, and I said you need to be very creative because we barely have any pullback, so you also need to be quite aggressive on your longs. We can take one here from taking out these lows, or one from the liquidity here. That of course didn't happen. We went slightly lower, went to the golden pocket. So this trade right here is the one that played out, and that was also then a back test here of that value area low of the rise up. And then eventually there we went higher, and the one that I preferred the most from the trend line, that one didn't occur. So yes, this trade did happen or did play out, and that was then a long from 95,500, and then we went higher. You had to be very quick because it was a single tap and go. As you can see here on the 5-minute chart, went down, hit that golden pocket, and then right away went up, and that was it. And then we just slowly grinded higher once again. For today, what can you do in case you missed this? Because like I said, you really actually need to be at your computer or your trading station to catch this trade. Well, the idea is actually pretty much the same as this trade that we took yesterday. And because there's just barely any retrace, so you need to be again quite creative or a little bit aggressive on your trade. You can take one once you take out these lows or these lows right here. If I would pull a fib from the current high that we made until the low that we put in yesterday, so where we had the bounce from the golden pocket, then we have for one something very interesting, something that I actually do not talk a lot about here on the channel, and that is that we have the VWAP gap. As you can see here, you get that white line that goes straight up. That is a VWAP, and they call it sometimes a VWAP gap, and that is the difference between where one day ends and the other day starts. And as you know, the VWAP follows price, but it resets with the beginning of a new trading day. So this right here, this move up, that is the reset, and there of course VWAP is then following it again. So some traders also traded towards that VWAP gap and say, okay, this is an imaginary gap that needs to be filled to get a certain balance in price, and then to continue. Not something that I actively trade, but I like the idea that it coincides with the golden pocket at 96, let's say 97,000, right there at the VWAP gap. This actually could be a nice, interesting long trade that I think also not a whole lot of people are looking at, and that would also be then on a higher level. Still your higher low. So market structure is not broken. This is then still your structure, and then eventually we can go higher in case we go lower now first before we hit the 100k or even go higher. So this for now is my absolute most preferred trade. If not, like I said, then we need to be a little bit more creative, and that is then maybe taking out one of these lows. This particular line, I leave it in because as you can see, it is still nicely supporting resistance. So in case price goes lower, and then it does something like this, it just barely takes out these lows, and then we go higher, then I will still take the trade. It is a little bit tricky because you have these other lows here underneath. I hope that it is visible for you here on the screen. So yeah, if you want to be very conservative, you actually need to put your stop loss here, but then we also still have these lows here. So that's a little bit tricky. I would then probably play it by ear and just say, okay, you know what, maybe then I just wait until we lose the level, take liquidity, reclaim that level, and then to go higher I'll put my stop loss here, because if we would then lose it again, that of course is pretty bearish, and I think you can go much lower. I think this can be very aggressive with your stop loss and your position size, because then you already have a reclaim again of that level. In case you want it, that is 97,870 at least on this chart. Make sure that you look at the high that we put in here on Thursday 21st of November. That could be a nice aggressive long trade in case we don't go this deep. Another one could be but that I prefer happen to after New York Open is a reclaim here of the VWAP, that's the white line. Do something like this, reclaim it, backtest, and then to go higher, then this will be my entry, and then a stop loss underneath the local low. That would also be pretty aggressive, but I think that is for now how we need to play it. One last thing that I want to show you before we're wrapping it up, and that is that we're going to look at ETH, because ETH yesterday had a bit of a surprise pump. I was actually waiting for more lows to be taken out, because this is kind of where we were looking at. Whoop, let me see, where are we? Here. Not all the lows were taken out, and as you can see, these all were. So we came down a little bit and was like iffy, and I was waiting for this to taken out and maybe even backtest here, that macro value area low that we already talked about a couple times, but then it was full shit and then we went higher. So I missed that long. That is a huge bummer. And also this move happened before New York open. So there was just suddenly liquidity that was pumped into the market. We went higher approximately 8%, and then just a lot of sideways range. There are interesting trading setups also for here. For ETH I will be a little bit more aggressive than for BTC. Just like BTC, I need to say, and that is a possible long here from the golden pocket at around 3,300. Maybe a quick peekaboo here underneath this one, but actually want to see quick reclaim and then to go higher. This could be a nice aggressive long trade. If else, a loss and a reclaim of this level right here, and that is then 3,237. That could be a nice long trade. If we would also lose that, then the last option is a backtest of these highs. That's also right away the fill of a single print that starts off from approximately 3,150, but I will update you on Twitter in case that happens. I actually do not think that we will get such a big dump down, so I'm now aiming for 3,300, if else 3,237, and if we really get a bit more of a bearish dump, 3,150, that will be a nice backtest, fill also of this single print, and then we can go higher. That will be it for now, that will be it for today. Let's see if we get 100k today. If so, then congratulations and pop a bottle of champagne. If not, then I will make another ridiculous thumbnail again and see you guys very, very soon again in the next one. And also don't forget to like and subscribe, and have you guys yourself a very good weekend. And I'll stop talking because I'm just mumbling. See you guys later. Bye.